Okay, guys, so in the last trivia, I asked you what should you do when you first wake up from dreaming, and here were the options. So the answer is relax, write down your dream, and pray. So I know that a lot of times, like, we can like forget to do this. Like, we can, and I'm so proud of you guys too, because everybody that voted, you all got the answer right. So I'm so proud of you guys. I'm pretty sure that a lot of you guys can relate to the options that I listed, because if you're new into learning about your dream life or your dreaming gift, you might do some of these things. Like, sometimes we forget to pray. Sometimes we forget to not just jump up and run to the phone and call somebody that we're close to. And sometimes we get lazy. Sometimes we might not feel like writing down our dreams and praying right away, and we just go right back to sleep, or just just forget about everything, right? But the most important thing for you to do is just take it easy. Like, when you first wake up, don't just jump up from bed. Lay in bed for a few minutes. And I know most people have busy schedules where they have to get up at a certain time, but normally God will wake you up a little bit earlier if you don't oversleep, or you could pray a prayer that you wake up on time. But whenever I pray that prayer, I always wake up early. So I need to start making that a daily prayer in my life. Instead of just jumping up, just lay there for a few minutes and then replay the dream in your head. That's something called dream recall. So you're just recalling the dream, just repeat it over and over in your head a few times and write it down. When you stop what you're doing and just take it easy and just replay the dream in your head, that's helping you to remember everything that happened, or at least you'll remember most of the dream. And once you write it down, you pray. So for me, like, a lot of times when I wake up from a dream, I do understand what I saw, but I do not get the full interpretation. So I notice when I do write down my dreams, I instantly get the full interpretation. And then, of course, I pray. So whether it's a good dream, I pray and just thank God for it and ask God, what should I do? Like, what steps should I be taking? Should I be doing anything? If it's a bad dream, I rebuke it and I ask God if it's just maybe it's a bad dream that's a warning, or maybe it's a bad dream that might be something that's to come and I can't avoid it. I have to ask God for protection. I pray for protection and covering. And then if it's a bad dream that may be preventable, but I also would pray for God to cancel anything that's not of Him, and I rebuke the enemy and I rebuke things that are not from God. And yeah, so you just need to pray accordingly. If you don't know what to pray, you just ask God, like, God, I saw this, I'm not sure what to think of it. I just pray that you just intercede on my behalf. If you don't know what to pray, because sometimes you might still not understand what it is, or you might do and you just don't know what to pray. But say, for instance, you don't know what it is, you just ask God, like, God, I saw this in my dream. I'm asking you, Lord God, what does this mean? And just wait for Him to reveal what it is. Don't just jump ahead of yourself. Sometimes I would get wary and not wait for God to respond first, and I would react. Like, in the past, I would react, jump up and call someone like that I can confide in. But sometimes you're not supposed to do that. Sometimes God just wants to speak to you, or some things are just between you and God. Everything isn't between you and other people. And of course, God does have people over us as mentors and pastors that can help us, and we should, but you have to be led by God. So you should always pray first, and then if God still leads you, then you share it with your mentor or your leader. Okay? You want to be careful about telling, like, friends, like peers, about stuff too, because they could lead you astray, or you never know. There's a lot of reasons why. For like peers, like people that aren't leaders, like that aren't spiritual leaders and things like that. And then you don't want to be lazy about dreams or about when God speaks to you. So dreams aren't just dreams. A lot of times God speaks to us through our dreams. So if you had a dream and you just go back to sleep, and I'm guilty of doing this sometimes, like, that's not good, because God may want you to intercede on behalf of someone else that needs that prayer right then and there, or he needs you to intercede on behalf of your own life right then and there. And if you don't pray right then and there, you can miss something. And then also you can just forget, like, you could also just forget what the dream was or what the dream was about. And now, while you're trying to write down a little bit that you do remember, everything isn't together, and you have to ask God to give you the dream again or show you what he showed you.